God. Why? Why? Why must you... Once we're in agreement, we follow Kara back to Ember Mist. Upon arriving, we head to the inn. As per usual.
We can spend the night here. I'll meet you back down in the lobby in a few minutes.
This is the inn? This is the inn? I mean, should it be a bit bigger? Ooh, music. Right, yeah, okay. Ooh. She ventures upstairs while we secure 2 rooms to the innkeeper. As we receive our keys, Amelia excuses herself. Yeah, she wants to get as far away from us as possible and do some thinking. Because, you know, people are you.
I wish to seek an audience with Elder Issam and continue our discussion. I would be remiss to let such an opportunity pass.
Again, why are you so formal? Is that a spear? Can I have that? I like spears. Spears are cool. Very practical weapons, too. Very useful. Reach, got a bladed tip. You can use it as a blunt instrument. Hell, you could smack some of the broads out of that if you wanted to, but why not use the blade in that case? It's basically like, you know, fighting with a staff, which is a very useful blunt weapon. Only you added a sharp bit to it. Anyway, he seems like also pretty tapestries and stuff. Did I point that out last time we were in here? He seems like a good guy, but maybe we keep the fact that I'm not from here a secret?
Yes, that is something in which we are in agreement.
Good. Oh, okay. She nods and leaves the inn. The decor of the inn is very similar to Elder Isam's hut. There's a reason for that, probably. Pillows and rugs line the ground as a few people sit cross-legged in front of the fire. A few tables line the side of the lobby, all of which are empty. In fact, aside from the couple of people chatting by the fire, this place is very empty. Once I sit down, I feel a fatigue pass over me, but I try to shake it off. I guess I don't see too many visitors here.
For a city that's supposed to be so secret, that's
Yeah.
not surprising. It's more surprising that they have an inn.
That's a very... Yeah, you know, that's an excellent point. Not even I really thought of that. I nod and stifle a yawn. We sit at a table as Zach orders us dinner. After a few minutes, Kara returns.
Where's Amelia?
She went back to speak with Elder Isom. Whatever. She nods. My eyelids droop and I'm stifling yawns every few minutes. My limbs feel like leaded weight, and it's taken all my effort to sit upright. After letting a wide yawn, Leanna glances over at me.
Maybe you should go to bed. We're winding down anyway, so it'd be a good idea to get some rest.
I need food. God, no, I'm actually yawning. I nod blearily. It sounds like a really good idea right now. I guess absorbing all the energy really takes out of you, huh? Leanna smiles at my joke.
It would seem so.
I don't know if that was a joke. Regardless, I'm grateful for the excuse to leave. I trot upstairs and fumble with the key before opening the door. I fall into one of the twin cots and pass out as soon as my head hits the pillow. The light filters from the window and gently pulls me out of my slumber. Suddenly, I push myself up in the bed and glance over to see Zach strapping on his dischargers. He noticed me sit up.
Hey.
Hey.
We're meeting downstairs in a few minutes.
Alright. As Zach finishes gathering his things, I begin to get ready to go downstairs. The group gathers down in the lobby, and I greet everyone and turn to Amelia. How was your chat with Elder Isom yesterday?
We had a very productive discussion. In fact, Elder Isom shared more of his journals with me.
Huh. She indicates the scrolls in her arms. Wow, he just gave those to you?
No, these are copies I wrote to bring back with me to the academy.
So you just spend a lot of the night scribing, okay. We stare at Amelia. She spent all night writing those.
That's a lot of dedication.
And my ear is getting like... It is, yes, but I mean, she's also practically a robot, I think. Amelia continues.
Regardless, we discussed more on the theory of temporal rifts in the elementals, which has only strengthened my concern that we do not have enough energy.
Why is that?
Then that definitely means we need to seek out another temple.
Do we have a lead on where to go?
Elder Isom, through his research into the elements, did mention that historically, the Gaians, The people who originally worshipped the earth elemental used to reside in the central woodlands of Assyria.
Aha.
The Kali, the people who worshipped the wind elemental, resided in the northern aerial plains.
Gaia. Kylum.
Therefore, it is most logical that the earth and wind temple will be located in those respective regions.
So what's the water elemental going to be referred to as then? We had Vesta, Gaia, and Kyle. Kylum, however you're going to fucking... The Latin word basically meaning sky. What about the water or shadow temple? She shakes her head.
The Aquarians, those who worshipped the water elemental, depended heavily on the seas. As such, Elder Ism was unable to pinpoint where the cultural hub of their society might have been.
Couldn't have called them like the Marids or the just something to take a word for water like you've been doing. Never mind.
As for Shadow, that is a complete unknown.
Figures.
If the Earth Temple is somewhere centrally located, then that would be the temple closest to us.
I also assumed, by the way, that either the Shadow Temple was an unknown or maybe it had been, like, destroyed or something. Oh, we had to fight Bongo Bongo. Or the Hands thing, whatever that was called. I don't remember the name. That one. That one's name always slips my mind. Leona nods.
The fastest way back will be to take the crystal rail. So we should return to Bazada.
Okay. With the next course of action in place, we finish up at the inn and get ready to depart. Elder Ism sees us off, much to the delight of Amelia, and much to my inability to speak. We retreat back into the forest. Leona stays by my side the whole way through, still unsettled by the forest. Oh. Luckily, nothing unfavorable happens, and we quickly make it through. As we return to Bazan, I can hear the raucous sounds of the marketplace city long before I see it. We pass through the familiar city gates and return to the early bustle of the city.
Let's pause here and take a moment to restock. There are a few items I'd like to pick up, which may be helpful.
Good idea. Why don't we all make sure we have everything we need, and then meet at the Crystal Rail station?
So am I just gonna wander around again, or what? Okay. We all agree and split up. I spent the time browsing the stalls again. Afterwards, I headed to the station to meet back up with the group. After I just wandered around. Okay, listless. I could have followed someone maybe, but no, I'm just gonna abandoned, unwanted. Then again, I don't blame them. I'm the first to arrive at the station, but Kara shows up only a few minutes later. And as the rest of the team gradually trickles in, Kara appears at the station list.
The end of the line is Stonecrest, so that's where we should go. Once we arrive there, I'll scout around and find our next course of action.
We want to reach as close to Central as possible, so traveling to the end of the Crystal Rail is a good first step.
Okay. Once we had a semblance of a plan, but together we purchase our tickets. After the train pulls into the station, we all board and begin our journey. After traveling the train for 2 days, we finally arrive in the city. Jesus. Oh, hey. Ooh. Shops. I squint at the midday sun and join the others as we quickly disembark the train, grateful for a chance to stretch our legs.
Here we are, Stonecrest.
Kara pulls her arms overhead in a stretch, forcing her chest out. And out of anything, we don't get a view of this. just kind of surprised, honestly. Zach's eyes are immediately drawn to her. She smirks at Zach, who quickly averts his gaze and stares hard at a random cobble on the street. What's the matter, Zachy boy? The town doesn't differ much from the other towns we've seen so far. It's made up of the same stone buildings and cobblestone paths. People wandering out of the shops, going about their daily lives. The first thing we do is find the inn of the inn. Ah! Alright, so now we're here. How do we figure out where to go next? Kara grins.
Just leave it to me. I'll ask around and see if I can come up with anything.
You'll just ask around, okay.
I'll keep my eyes and ears open just in case I hear something too.
Kara shakes her head.
You should relax and enjoy the city. I've got some contacts I'm going to reach out to, so I've got this.
Oh, well, if you're sure.
Kara nods.
I already have a few ideas and leads based on some of my previous scoutings for temples and hidden relics.
Okay, then let's meet back here in a few hours to regroup.
Works for me.
Amelia nods distractedly.
Now that we have something of a plan, I'll be heading off.
Me too.
Carl and I leave while everyone else stirs. I don't have anything personal to do. I wonder if I can help or hang out with someone. Let's see. Find Kara, Zach. Go find Liana. Kara seems to already have an idea of where she wants to go. Maybe I can hang out with Liana. I check the surrounding streets and come upon a statue. Liana stands right before it. Hey. She smiles as I approach.
Hey!
I look back at the statue of a woman. She stands in a regal pose overlooking the town square. She's decked out in armor with a sword hanging by her side. Who's that?
That is Elena Vale. She was a mage knight who fought to protect her city against the advancement of Void.
Ah. Liana's eyes sparkle with admiration as she looks at the statue. She tucks a lock of hair behind her ear. That's pretty cool. Guessing she was from here? Liana nods.
She was still studying at the academy to become a mage knight, but happens to be home when Void attacked. They didn't have the same type of training regimen in place back then as we do now. Normal townsfolk weren't trained or prepared to fight in a battle, and it was absolute chaos. Scouts by the gate spotted the advancement of a Void troop coming to the town, which caused panic. Elena quickly took charge and tried to calm the people down. Thinking on her feet, she asked for volunteers to help evacuate families from the city, and others to help set up barricades and defenses in town to slow down the Void advancement. Those who stayed to fight knew what the consequences would be, but Elena's unfaltering bravery rallied them. Together they found whatever they could to block off the streets and alleyways. That way, they could at least try to control where the fights happened. And then, Void entered the town.
That must have been a bloodbath. Liana grimaces.
It wasn't pretty. These weren't trained soldiers, but still, they persevered for their town. Elena and a team of guards sought out the leader of Void, who was hidden in the back lines. They used hidden passageways in the town to quickly reach him.
Well, they are fighting on their own turf, so yeah, use it to your advantage.
Using her magic and training, she was a formidable match during the skirmish. And at one point, she even had the upper hand.
At one point. So I'm guessing she doesn't make it out of this story the hero that lived.
When the leader realized that he may be cut down, he cowardly tried to retreat. He cast a line of shadow fire between himself and Elena, which stretched across the road. It burned both any Void followers and townsmen alike who were caught in the crossfire.
She began to speak in awe.
But that did not stop Elena. She leaped through the dark flames and ran her sword straight through him.
Good on her. No, yeah, well, fuck off. What a badass. My mouth drops. That is so badass. Liana grins broadly, her eyes sparkling.
It was. And a huge morale boost for anyone who witnessed it, too.
I can imagine. She literally jumped through fire and came down impaling the son of a bitch who cast it into the ground. I'm assuming that was the fatal blow that killed the leader. Liana nods.
Unfortunately, shadow fire is far more deadly than regular fire.
Yep.
And it proved to be fatal.
Martyred. Damn. She sacrificed her life to save the people of her town. That's admirable and tragic. What happened then?
With the Void leader defeated, the rest of the followers broke down and either fled or surrendered.
Wow. No wonder Void lost the war.
Thanks to Elena, this town wasn't taken over.
You seem to know a lot about her. Liana brightens up again.
Of course. She's such an inspiration. There aren't many mage knights who are women. While Elena may not have been one of the heroes of Isaria, who defeated and ended the conflict with Void, she still made just as big an impact to the people of this town.
That's one of the things in history. There's so many people who played roles throughout, major events that you may not have heard of because they weren't, royalty, or they may not have participated in a particular battle or something or whatever. But like the role that they played, where they were doing it, it could end up being important on a grander scale, but just got washed away, or was more important to a specific area or a specific event that may have just been a piece in a bigger, one cog of many or something. But all of those stories deserve to be told and remembered because these are real people and things that happen. So, yeah.
To me, Elena embodies what it means to be a mage knight. Being a student didn't stop her. She still did everything possible to protect those who needed it.
Is that why you became a mage knight?
It's one of the reasons. Elena showed me that no deed is too small to make an impact on someone. As a mage knight, I get sent on missions all over Heavengard. I feel like I can make more of a difference than if I were just a research mage.
I mean, both have their place, but I'm not gonna undersell one or the other. Just active stance versus more of a. I don't want to say that research is passive so much as it is just, has a different kind of focus to it. She grins.
Plus, getting to travel around and meet new people isn't so bad.
How does your family feel about you traveling so much?
While they don't think it's ideal, it's something they're already used to.
Why is that? Oh, Leona nods.
My older brother is also a mage knight.
Oh, so you kind of followed in his footsteps.
I guess you could say that.
You two get along? She thinks, then nods slowly.
Yeah, we do actually.
Must have really happy to hear you become a mage knight too. Leona shifts her gaze away and smooths her skirt. When she looks back up, she seems too cheerful.
Well, that's a long enough break. I should go and help Kara with the search. I know she said we didn't have to, but investigating is part of what I do. I'll meet you back at the inn.
Right. That was a fast change in her demeanor. Must have been something I said. No shit. Alright, I'll keep looking around too. She flashes me one last smile before quickly disappearing down the street. Guess I better get a move on as well. With that done, I think about my next steps. Amelia. I know she just went to go find Kara, but that's probably not going to happen, so let's go talk to Kara. Maybe I can help Kara with her search. Blub it up. I searched each of the city, but I seem to always miss her. I wonder where she is, what kind of people she's talking to. Oh well, I'll see her when we meet it back up, I guess. Oh, when we meet back up. I guess I'll try something else. With that done, okay, makes sense, right. In that case, Amelia. I wonder what Amelia's doing. I make a big loop around the town, but don't find her anywhere. Racking my brain, I try to think of things that Amelia would be interested in. Maybe a library, a museum, or something bookish. I make kind of the lap around town, but I don't find those places. Well, I'm making no progress, just wandering around. Better return to the inn. I make my way back, and I'm surprised to see a familiar set of pigtails sitting quietly at one of the tables. Amelia looks up at me as I approach her.
Greetings.
Hi. Hey. She makes no indication to speak again. What are you doing here?
I am awaiting the rest of our group at our designated meeting point.
Right, but we still have a lot of time before these are going to show up. She blinks.
Yes, I'm well aware of that information.
So are you just sitting here? What are you doing to pass the time? Don't you want to explore the town?
No.
I just stare at her and she explains. I just love how blunt it was, though. No.
I do not possess the contacts of Kara to pursue a lead on our next destination. Nor are there any familiar channels of leisure for me in the city.
So just wandering around and exploring it and looking has no interest to you?
The only option available is to reconvene with the rest of the group. Hence, I'm awaiting everyone's return.
Reasonable, but a bit sad. Okay. Familiar channels of leisure. Is there anyone saying there's something for her fun here? Gotta be something fun to do around here. She shakes her head.
From my understanding, there is no library or museum.
Well, I was looking for the right places, but apparently, yeah. Fun is a broad term. Shut the fuck up. Libraries are awesome. I used to spend hours and hours in libraries and bookstores. And museums can be very fun. It just depends on if the museum itself has anything interesting in it. You know, the displays themselves, whatever. There is a particular museum around here that is one of the most boring places I've ever been to. Fun's a broad term. Are those the only places you've looked for? Fun is also a broad term because it depends on the person, you know, the individual who's looking to have fun. It's broad in the sense that different people have different tastes in what's entertaining. That can even go into subgroups within, you know, broader things. Like, oh, I like watching TV shows. Okay, but there's different genres. There's, you know, you have dramas, you have action, you have stuff inside of that, fantasy, sci-fi, modern, video games. You got people who don't like multiplayer, who prefer, you know, single-player games. People who prefer narrative-based, or people who just prefer games that you wander on, do whatever with no story, with little story to none at all. You know, it's music, tons of different genres, subgenres, artists within there that had their own little spin on it. Point being, very, very broad. Well, give me more than just that. Have you tried looking for someplace with games or something? She conks out of the side and looks at me curiously. You know, like, I pause and try to think of what type of games would be in this world. Maybe you think I have a fair? Ring toss, or knife throwing, or whack-a-mole. Amelia pauses.
Perhaps you were describing a carnival.
That was what was going through my head, apparently. Yeah, that's it.
I did not seek out that information, but I believe I may know the location of what you are seeking.
What do you mean, what I'm seeking? Really? That's great, we should go. She pauses as she thinks and gets to her feet.
I suppose frequenting an establishment such as that could be considered a form of learning.
Okay. That's right, let's go. Amelia exits the inn and heads confidently onto the streets. I keep up as she turns onto side streets, and before long she pauses in front of an open alley. It reminds me of the fairs and carnivals we have back at home. Does it? People set up their stalls along the sides, but instead of selling wares, they advertise activities. There are stalls offering targets, test your skills, like weapons or throwing, or stalls which will guess your age, or wait, I put those in the wrong order, but fuck it. Amelia glances at me.
Is this what you were suggesting?
This is even better than I imagined, apparently. Which one do you want to check out?
I am content to merely observe.
Okay. That's no fun, you should try one. She doesn't seem to be interested in choosing. Guess that means I'll have to choose for her. Maybe we should go for something more engaging, like target throwing. Looking around at these stalls, I don't recognize what half of these options are. There's something with floating circles and something else with bottles. I pause and see the stall with dischargers. Finally, something I recognize. This shouldn't be too different from shooting ranges back home. Let's try shooting the dischargers. Amelia gives me a strange look.
An interesting choice.
Why? Her tone suggests this is not something she's trying on her own, but she follows me to the stand anyway. The man behind the counter grins at us.
Think you have what it takes to win? Hit 3 out of 5 shots to win a prize.
They're gonna be rigged, aren't they? You ready?
Perhaps if you attempt it first, I can observe you and then attempt it myself.
Sure. Can you try to tell me a discharger is too difficult for you? Amelia shakes her head dismissively.
Nonsense. Dischargers are merely a simple tool. I, on the other hand, have extensive magic training. This is nothing more than an exercise in coordination. I will attempt it.
Wow, you look determined, though. Amelia is filled with determination.
That'll be 2 coins, miss.
She places the coins in the counter and he swamps out with the discharger.
There are 5 rounds loaded in there. Have at it.
Amelia clutches the discharger and holds it in front of her. She squints one eye as she lines up her aim, then she squeezes the trigger. A bolt of energy shoots out of the barrel and Amelia lets out a small gasp with a kickback. The shot is wide and she misses the target. Amelia's eyes are also wide as she studies the discharge with interest.
How curious.
Is it rigged, or are you just like, ooh, this is new? Have you ever shot one of these before? I mean, I haven't either, apparently. As far as I know, I haven't. Nothing. Zach wouldn't ever let me touch his. He just shot me. I've been shot by one. Shakes her head.
The opposing force was unanticipated. This time I will be prepared.
So magic pistols also have recoil. Okay. She lines her up aim and fires again. Anticipating the kickback, she finds to keep her aim straight, but can't stop the slight jerk of the weapon. Again, her shot misses. She frowns and seems surprised at herself, as if she can't believe that she's continuing to miss. She fires again, aims too high and misses. Then fires once more and shoots wide. For her final shot, she aims too low and misses again. Her face falls and she realizes she's a lot of shots. I don't know. Everybody sucks the first time. I mean, true-ish. Let her be good at... That seems that seems... Like, I want to reassure her, but this almost feels like it'd be patronizing. Let her be everybody sucks the first time. I mean... Cheer up. Nobody's ever good at everything the first time they try it. Amelia's frown deepens.
Good try, miss. But unfortunately...
Amelia interrupts them, placing more coins on the counter.
I would like another attempt.
Oh boy. I'm surprised by the determination in her voice.
As you wish.
He takes the coins and resets the discharge for more rounds. How? Amelia fires again and again, but never quite hits the target. No. She throws in the discharger, raises her bracelet, an unusual fire in her eyes. They begin to glow. Hey, what are you doing?
I will hit the target.
No. Gotta use a discharger.
This discharger is clearly defective and not utilizing the energy properly. I will use my magic to prove it to you.
No. I have no doubt in your skills casting magic, but shooting a discharger is a new skill you shouldn't have given up. Amelia doesn't react. Are you really gonna let a measly little discharger get the best of you? The more you shoot it, the better your aim will be, and you'll be hitting those targets in no time. As she considers my words, her jaw unclenches and she lowers her arm. She picks up the discharger, again with new resoluteness. As she lines up the shot, she takes her time before shooting. This time her shot is much closer to the target. Amelia nods as if confirming something to herself. She shoots again, and her shot is even closer to the target. On her last shot, her face hardens as determination sets in. This time she painstakingly lines up her shot and steadies her grip. As she pulls the trigger, she uses her body to help her keep steady from the kickback and her shot hits the target. Her eyes light up as she throws her arms in the air and hops up and down with excitement.
I hit it! I hit it!
Okay, that's adorable. That actually is adorable.
Did you see?
Yeah. She turns to me with a big smile on her face. She jumps excitedly. Oh, you're actually showing emotion. That is a bit weird, though. Her pigtails bounce along with her, and she claps her hands. Celebrate with her. I jump up and down with her. You were awesome. She looks at me with a huge grin. Oh, suddenly her face turns red and she freezes. I see the moment of embarrassment in her face before she resumes her usual blank stare.
I meant it was only a matter of time before I got the correct calculations.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I shall return in a moment.
Return? She rushes off in a hurry towards the ladies' room, probably to recompose herself. I guess I'll wait here then. She's still winning that prize, though. Maybe I can win it for her. I'm just a shopkeeper. I'll give it a go. I've done my fair share of paintballing back home. Should be somewhat similar. So you've never fired a real gun. Okay. I place my coins on the table, and the man hands me a discharger. Oh, this can be a mini game. The first round misses as I familiarize myself with the weapon. My second attempt hits the target, as in my third. Unfortunately, my next attempt misses as I misjudge my aim. This is it. I steady my aim and fire. Miss, fail, hit? What's the difference? Fail, does that mean like I hit something like the shopkeeper? Why is this a choice? I don't... Miss... This almost sounds ominous. Miss or hit? The problem is I don't want to just show her up. Like, that... Kind of a dick move, even if your heart's in the right place and all. But then again, it could be a... Oh, fine. My aim is true and I hit the target. Yes! I put down my discharger and put my fist in the air. The man grins.
Nicely done. Well, here's your prize. Congratulations.
Hands you a pink Pongo plushie. Thanks. Amelia returns and her eyes grow wide when she sees my plushie.
How did you acquire this?
Surprise in the game. She looks at me with surprise and seems impressed.
You attempted the game, and you were successful?
Yep.
I see.
She has the discharger booth again. I hold up the plushie. It's for you. She blinks.
But you earned this.
I already have a Pongo. I need another one. I place the plushie in her hands. Let's check into the stall.
Okay.
I really hope they didn't patronize her. Like, really, I want it to be a nice gesture. I don't want to be a dick about it. I turn around and begin walking, but not before I catch a small smile on Amelia's face. She hugs the plushie close to her. Okay, thank God. As we wander the stands, I think about Amelia and her Magecaster program. So I've been wondering, as a student of the Mage Academy, won't coming on this adventure with us affect your classes?
That is not an issue for me, as I do not have classes.
So what do you do then? You don't? She shakes her head. Oh, then what have you been working on?
My research studies. A significant component to becoming a Magecaster is research study. That is my focus and basis for participating on our travels.
Okay. So you just have to document research of a subject area of your choice and you're done?
To put it so plainly does a disservice to the amount of effort involved in formally achieving the status of Magecaster. But ultimately, you are correct.
Sounds a bit like she's working on the equivalent of her dissertation. So if that's it, why haven't you done it already?
It is not so simple. I had taken into consideration furthering the research on temporal rifts and the other parallel worlds. But such an endeavor would have been fruitless without an avenue for further research.
That explains her fascination with Elder Issim and Embermist. And then I came along. She smiles.
Precisely.
I'm sure the Mage Academy will come looking for you.
After departing the Academy, I did ensure that a notification would reach my professors to inform them that I am currently traveling on a research study. These studies are quite numerous and common amidst my peers.
I see. Amelia paused in front of a stall.
Shall we attempt this activity?
Sure. We spend some more time trying out your stalls before we decide to leave. Amelia returns to the inn, but I decide to stay a little longer. With that done, I think about my next steps. I bet Zach's at the inn. Based on previous patterns, it shouldn't be difficult to figure out where Zach went. I make my way to the inn.